toxicity on the internet. People being, straight up weird. All right. People subtweeting like each other. People causing drama on the internet mostly. Twitter is what we're talking about today. We're talking about toxic entitled pros.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of little toxic entitled pros out there. Yeah, that's right. I'm talking to you. I know you listen to this podcast, you little brat.
While you're doing your 90s, we know you listen. While you're playing the new Valorant beta, you're listening right now.
Yeah, I know you're there. I know you're listening. Hey, Fruity, introduce yourself.
5 stars. I'm Loserfruit, and this is Crayator. Say
hello.
Hey.
That's me. I have a mustache.
We are YouTubers / streamers, and you know what? We've got an announcement first to say, and that is that we are doing a giveaway this week.
Yeah, you can win things. Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my God.
Wow.
You could win some AirPod Pros, and we got some other headsets. What do you call them? We got some other earphones too.
Some things. We got things. You want stuff?
And if you win third place, you get crazy old earphones.
Yep, you can have these earphones right here, ladies and gentlemen.
He's got some ear issues too, like a lot of ear gunk there. So
I'm a lot of ear gunk, smothered in earwax. Oh, I sometimes have to get my ears flushed, and it's one of the most disgusting things ever. But I don't do it with water. I actually get my ears vacuumed now, Fruity. I get them vacuumed. And then I get a little tube so I can have a little memento and put them up on my wall of all my ex-earwax,
If you guys want to see that, we could do that.
Oh, could you imagine if I actually did? I always feel like I want to... Okay, this is going to sound really gross, but I want to do that because it reminds me of Harry Potter vials, when he walks into an apothecary, an alchemist area, and there's vials all on the wall. So maybe I'll do that. I love that aesthetic. I love old library. What's the topic?
What? Oh yeah, I was gonna say click the.
Oh right, the giveaway.
It'll be in the Spotify link. It'll be in the YouTube link. It'll be there.
Mm-hmm.
Click it. You can
Check
be
it out.
first to enter.
Wow, be the first. You will be number one, no matter what.
Thank you
do
for
it now.
Your support on this
on
this podcast. We
Don't
really
think you're gonna do
appreciate
it. Do it.
Right.
Sorry, I'm just do it. Just do it. Like Nike.
Recently, there's been a new game come out called Valorant, and only the beta's come out. The full thing hasn't even come out. It came out last night, Valorant, and it's like a CS:GO and Overwatch with some abilities mixed together, and
it's a game.
It's a game, pretty much. And there's been so many people who've declared they're going to be a pro at it. And straight up, even before, without even playing it. And that's the funniest thing to me for some reason. I get you're keen, but declaring that you're going to be pro? Maybe picking up teams?
Maybe it's because it's so similar to other games, and when you're good at a first-person shooter and you're going to grind out hours, you already kind of self-declare to get a little bit of hype. Because I think pros struggle a lot if they're not extremely popular or not in the limelight to kind of get attention on them. So on Twitter, if you write things I know it kind of makes you into a bit of a laughing stock saying that you're a pro before, it's like saying if a new sport of tennis came out, right? Say tennis had never been invented and tennis was being invented now, and you were like, I'm a pro tennis player before it was even invented. It's a little bit funny, but maybe if you had played badminton, and it was similar, then you can say hey, I'm going to be good at this game, hey, I'm going to be great. But yeah, that's how I kind of saw it, but I know what you mean at the same time, No,
I get it. It's it's enthusiasm too. No, I get it, but it's crazy. It's you don't even know if you like this game. You could guess you like it, but what happened to the passion? People just want to be pro at things now that they've seen people pop off in Fortnite and stuff. People just want to be pros. There was a good tweet of someone who was I won't name it, but they were if I was 18, I would fucking switch to Valorant. This game gives zero fucks about their community and competitive side of the game. Talking about Fortnite.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, yeah, I like that people vocalize what they're feeling on Twitter, but it's also kind of dangerous. I always get a little bit scared, can I be honest?
Yeah.
sometimes I have a thought on recent drama or a recent gossip piece or a rumor spreading through the internet like poison, and I want to say something about it, but I never do because you're always scared of lack of information or things like that. So I take a step back, Fruity, and I just like to look through my little goggles and read about drama. I love drama. I can't lie. I love it. I love gossip. I love rumors. I love it. I just don't ever want to be a part of it in any way, shape, and or form. And people do want to be a part of it. That's the crazy thing to me. People know that it builds careers. It really does.
It really does. Yeah, no, it isn't. That's so true. Oh my God. I was just thinking of like I remember when. Actually, no, this is not a good example of this, but because she didn't want this to happen, obviously. But the whole story arc of Lily Pichu getting cheated on, and then that was super sad and everything. But damn, ever since then. Like, that's the best thing that ever happened to her. Like, not emotionally, but, like, views-wise for her, the rest of the team, it's been popping. And then she met Michael Reeves. But because of that, she met Michael Reeves, so I'm sure she's probably freaking really happy about that. And then, bam, that's been popping too. So.
Yeah, it's a weird how drama, or maybe not exactly the word drama, but you know, a terrible thing happening to you in the public eye can rally the troops and everybody kind of runs to your cause with your flag, waving it, you know, even if they've never heard of you, they don't know you, you know, if you get cheated on, if you get, you know, bullied, which is, you know, I think it's, you know, when people rally behind a positive figure who was betrayed or treated badly in some way. I'm saying that's good, you know, rally behind Lily because...
No, exactly. That's what I felt. That's what everyone else felt. It's just like, no, not her. She's awesome. And then you'd have her stream up a bit more and then like other people would, and you'd definitely rally behind her.
Can I ask you a question, Fruity? How do you feel about people vocalizing their opinions about drama on Twitter, on Facebook, you know, like even with the Lily situation, right? Imagine, just let me paint a little dangerous picture for you.
Okay.
Imagine in the future if the man that did do the cheating actually didn't, or something like that, or he never told his side of the story or something like that. How do you feel about being in the moment and writing a tweet as anybody, whether you're not in the public eye, etc., but you're just like, you know, you see Crayator's being cheated on, right?
Yeah.
And you go straight to Twitter and you're like, Cray would never do this. He's the best guy in the world. Oh, how do you feel about reactionary tweets?
Oh, they can cause more problems, can't they? like if you did cheat on someone or were cheated on, and so if you cheated on someone, I was like, no, he would never do this. I know Cray is a good guy. Hear him out. Hear out his story. I guess. I don't think that's a bad thing because they know I'm friends with you. So they'd be like, that's fine. You react in a normal emotional way, I guess. But if it was someone I didn't really know, it'd be a little bit like, get none of your business. Get out of it. But so many people make channels on drama and I watch some of these ones, man.
I watch them. I love them. The scary thing about online drama is I have realized there is no age. And let me explain it. So when people say things like, oh, this tweet didn't age well, which they're basically saying you said something in the past and now that the truth has come out, it doesn't look good. But that's only one piece of it. But they will still attack you for that tweet in the past, even when new information has come out. They won't say, oh, but in the moment, Fruity was defending a friend. Oh, in the moment, Fruity was trying to be nice and supportive to her best buddy, Cray. No, they will now attack you, Fruity, because you defended the cheater. You know, you defended the bad guy, even if you didn't know the bad guy was bad. That's what scares me. Because say it came out, Loserfruit has, cheated on her partner or something. I would say, hell no. You know, I'd be on stream, I'd be on YouTube, I'd be on Twitter being like, you guys don't know Fruity. You don't. But what happens if Fruity is actually a terrible person, you know, and we just didn't know and you're the devil? and I defend you, but then in the future it comes out that you're the devil, right? And that you did do it. I'm screwed too now. That
and you would write an apology tweet. You'd be like, sorry, I didn't really know the full story. And even that you apologize, people would be like, but how did you not know the real story? He is good friends with Fruity. Suspicious to me.
I hate that. I hate that. I hate when people think they know the story when they don't, and having information, that the general public doesn't have right now about some of their favorite streamers or YouTubers, and they all do. You know things about me, Fruity, that the public doesn't know, right? And it's like knowing that stuff is sometimes infuriating when I'm reading things online and I'm like, you're wrong. That comment's wrong. You think you know it all, but you know nothing. That guy's wrong. That never happened. Where'd you get that information from? People literally on the internet make things up. It drives me up the wall. It drives me insane. It really does.
Yeah, and I can guarantee you in most situations it's very different than it is assumed, and it can be a lot worse than it is assumed behind the scenes. And it can be a lot better too, but yeah.
It can go both ways, can't it? It could be, sometimes when I'm reading things online, I'm like, oh, okay, no, it is, that person's on it. Like, I once, back in the day, read a Reddit post about some drama I knew about, and that I was, I knew the people involved, and they got every single thing right, Fruity. After the podcast, I forget exactly what it is, but I'll try to find the post because it's still up somewhere. And I was like, oh my God, I was like, oh my God, they've cracked the code. But it was worse than what they were saying, I remember. It was actually worse. They got everything right, but I was like, ooh, it's worse,
And it really is a real big question on how much you can publicly, I guess, slander a person without slandering yourself. It seems like the more you put out negativity, you put out there, the more people will bring it back to you and try to take you down, for example. But I do think that one of the things that I hate about when people assume something about a situation is when people subtweet about their relationships. I've seen quite a few examples of this, of like when they're tweeting that just to see another person, just so another person sees it,
That's what subtweeting is, making a comment online on Twitter and not telling everybody who you're talking about, knowing that the other person could see it and you want them to read it, or maybe you don't, but you're just still talking shit and everyone knows who you're talking shit about.
Yeah, it's like,
man.
A couple's going through a breakup and one of them's like, wow, because of recent changes, I've been super happy lately. It's like,
oh, God!
It's like, oh my God, okay, all right. Like, okay.
I hate when people do it about things like hacking, or, a pro player was caught hacking in a game and somebody will write a tweet within the hour of that news dropping and they'll say things like, man, there's a fly in my room. Sorry. They'll be like, oh, I hate hackers in games. It's like, at them, at the person, point the finger. If you're going to point, if you're going to point at them. Don't not let loose. And, if you're going to do it, go from 0 to 100. Don't press your little foot on the gas a little bit and then go, oh no, I'm a little scared of the internet. No, I'll put the brakes on a little bit. It's like, come on, are you going to do it or not? Are you going to do it?
I've seen so many conversations where someone's like in your position, where the position you described, where they're like, oh, I really hate hackers. And then the person that is subtweeted about will respond to that. And then the original person will be like, oh no, it's like another situation, dude. Love you. Like, you're fine. It's like,
one thing about those types of tweets as well that really grinds my gears is I hate empathetic stupidity. And empathetic stupidity is when somebody doesn't give, to me, this is how I would define that, is when somebody doesn't give the correct person sympathy. That's what bothers me. Because some people back the bad guy on Twitter. Have you seen that before, Fruity? Has that ever enraged you when they back the baddie? I'm like, dude.
They don't.
Like,
yeah, no, I kind of get it because they don't know any better, and they want the person that they've been following for years or that they've really liked to be the good guy, right? And they do, and that gives them a sort of sense of hope and a sense of like, oh no, I want to rally behind this person, even if they are wrong. But these people out there don't know, I guess, the specifics. Like, we don't know the specifics of situations that we see online, the behind the scenes.
I guess that's what scares me, is commenting on situations where, and to everybody listening, when you think about drama in your life, right, it's always deeper than what people around you know, and then imagine if your personal family drama was on the internet for everybody to vocalize about. It's like scary and crazy, and I'm so glad I personally have never been really involved in any kind of actual drama. I've never... Have you, Fruity? Have you ever been involved? Have you ever been subtweeted? Have you ever had someone be like super toxic to you in like...
I don't know about subtweeting. I don't think I would pay attention enough to know if it's about me.
Yeah.
But there was that one time when we did that charity stream where me and Fasby kissed. And
yes.
That was the only time I've been involved in drama because people thought it was queer baiting. And I thought that was one of the weirdest things to call someone out on. It was a simple kiss. It was just a fun thing. We're like, 100K celebratory kiss. And like... Yeah, no, we got a lot of hate for that, yeah.
I think, and I'm going to comment on drama, therefore I might create drama here, but for the first time you're going to hear Cray's opinion on something that's actually a little bit political, is a kiss is not a sexual act. A kiss is not a sexual act to me. It's an act of affection. Just as breasts, and there are, movements like Free the Nipple that say things like, women should be allowed to freely breastfeed in the open, in a public sphere, out and about, or nipples and breasts are not sexually driven body parts. That's how I see lips. Lips, the mouth, is used for eating. So it's not to do with your... sexual orientation on who you can kiss. I have kissed men before, and you
also kissed a man on that stream.
Yes, and I'm a straight man. I am straight, but I love kissing dudes because I'll kiss my broskies. They're the boys. It's like a sign of affection. I know someone right now is like, like, man, this man just say he likes kissing his broskies, like, but our society has determined that is I know I'm ranting right now, I'm probably causing drama, but our society has determined that our lips are a sexually a sexual body part, So that's how I saw that drama.
I mean, if you think of it like that, you think of it like if you show too much leg or something like that, and people are like, you're baiting that, you're baiting sexual comments to be towards you. It's like, no, it's just a leg. It's just a leg. It's just a hot day. She's just wearing some extra short shorts. Like it's kind of like the same concept. It's just a leg. It's just lips. It's how you interpret it is makes it more sexual than it was intended to be. With that drama though, what I really learned is that most of the LGBTQ, however you say that, LGBTQT fans of mine were like super defending me and were like, "This is just fun. It was for charity. What the fuck are you talking about?" It was just like the 1% of like annoying people that were there, and I think that's most dramas, 1%.
Well, what about outrage culture on Twitter and things like that? And like, how do you feel about people becoming outraged? Because on one side, when I see outrage on Twitter and it causes drama, sometimes, and I can't really think of a time when I've seen it recently, but sometimes outrage is justified. Sometimes, how we talk about like cancel culture and things like these and these big buzzwords that have come in the 21st century where, we cancel a creator because they said something stupid or they did say something terrible. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about people gathering in groups and vocalizing opinions? Do you think that's different than an individual just writing something, Fruity?
I just hate when people say something without knowing full information or knowing, I don't know, I hate when people band together just for the sake of banding together more than doing anything productive. But I haven't really experienced much of that recently. Yeah, I haven't experienced that. No. But like, no, it's crazy how much people. Oh God, man, I'm so glad we're not in the beauty community. You see, like the James Charles thing, like last year when people were trying to cancel him, and like some 40-year-old woman trying to cancel this 18-year-old boy, and how like kind of weird that was.
Yeah,
that stuff was just so. Why is this happening? Why are you exposing this kid in this light? But
well, that's another thing is like age, Fruity. Sometimes it's not seen on the internet, which is very dangerous. Sometimes you're reading an opinion, you're reading a comment from a child on the internet or from someone 40 years you're younger, 20 years you're younger, 10 years you're younger. And I don't know if you would agree, but when I was 20, I was very different at 24. When I was 24, I was very different than I was at 27.
I always think that Fortnite pros are super entitled because they're always like, you know what, this game sucks. I hate this game. They don't care about their community. If only this and this was fixed just so pros could play. But then I'm like, how young are the people who are saying these things? They're young.
Usually young.
They're young. They're very entitled. And I think
you seem to, Fruity, do you want to talk about something about you seem to be very angry at the Fortnite pros in particular. Do you want to?
No.
Do you want to make more of a comment there?
Well, no, the only thing I'm annoyed at is that they only think of it from a pro's perspective, not a casual gamer's perspective. And that's what makes them look like idiots.
I think that's another dangerous thing is perspective. We all have our own perspective. We all have our own direction. We comment off of what we know and what we assume to know and what we want. And we don't have, sympathy or empathy a lot of the time. We don't think, because let's say Fortnite, the game, went full in a pro direction, which it has, by the way, in many ways, with pushing forward esports events and things like that, removing things like trolleys and all this kind of stuff. It's like, it's all from how you see it. Because as somebody who isn't a pro in Fortnite, I look at it and I want to write a comment saying, fuck the pro scene. It's boring to watch. It's trash. It's awful. It's not fun. It's not enjoyable. Bring back memes. Bring back fun. Bring back color into the game. That's what I would say. But I'm not going to write that tweet because it would cause drama.
So do you think this like pro stuff comes from a sense of like ego? Like, do you need to be a pro? Do you need to have ego to be a pro?
I believe that every pro player or anybody in a professional sport for that matter should believe that they are the best, the greatest to have ever lived. And I justify that by saying ego is such a powerful thing. And everybody right now listening to this, including you, Fruity, you believe you are right. You know what I mean? Like if you hold a political affinity, if you have a religion, if you have a thought or an opinion on drug use, you believe you are right. You believe you are correct. You don't mystically think to yourself one day, I am wrong. And that's what cognitive bias is. Cognitive bias is looking for opinions or facts or truths or things that you believe will help your cause. And when it comes to pro players, if they don't think they're the best, then they're trash, then they're not the best. And then they're going to lose. But there's a difference with how you vocalize it. There's, for everyone that listens or watches the UFC, there's your Conor McGregor, who is very outlandish and very like, I am the greatest to have ever lived. And then there's somebody who's softer. I don't know, plenty of fighters out there. Maybe a Cerrone, the cowboy. He's a lot softer spoken. It's like that kind of stuff, Fruity.
Do you think that there needs to be a certain amount that they need to have won or viewership number to get an ego or like to warrant an ego? Or do you think?
warranting an ego is different, but having an ego is a powerful tool. You know, like in streaming, Fruity, I like to believe that I am the most talented, greatest streamer of all time, you know, but when I see other people, I know that's not true. But when I first started streaming, I self-believed, I guess to the point of madness, where I said, I am talented, I am worthy, and I will keep streaming, and I've got 50 viewers now, I may have 10 viewers tomorrow, but I am going to make it, you know? And I think those thoughts are very good. They're not always bad. If you vocalize them on Twitter and you're a little trash bag idiot and you put others down, that's different. An ego should be for the self. And yeah, maybe that's where the difference comes in, you know?
I guess when you got some pros, they put Fortnite, the developers down.
Well, yeah, to be honest, pro players are always going to want the game to be more directed towards pros, right? But what about the Fortnite developers? What happens if tomorrow Fortnite developers say, fuck you, I don't want to do any of that?
Yeah, this is not even just developers. This is friends of ours who make content on it. And they're like, oh, we're not getting weekly updates. How dare you not give us a weekly update? How dare you not tell us what day you're giving this update?
I know this sounds bad, but GG, idiot. You lose, they win. They can do whatever they want with their game. They can delete the entire game from the internet tomorrow if they had that right. Let's say that the developers did have the right to. They're allowed to do that. It's their game. They don't ever have to update for you. Don't be an entitled little brat. That's how I see that kind of comment. I know that sounds kind of nasty, but it's true. Don't be entitled. There's a difference between having an ego and believing that you're the greatest YouTuber of all time, and then there's telling other people what to do with their life or with their content. Those two things are very different. Fortnite doesn't owe anybody anything unless you believe they do, and then you vocalize the stupid opinion of, you do what I say because I said it, and that's dangerous.
I mean, Fortnite's given a lot of people a lot of big careers and big opportunities already. To want so much of them already is really entitled.
Listen, if you mock Fortnite because they previously did something and they're no longer doing that now, you shouldn't be doing that, because you should be counting your lucky stars that they did it in the beginning for you.
Absolutely.
Not many developers, Epic, who created Fortnite, are the greatest developers to have ever lived on side with CD Projekt Red. Those two developers have done so well, Fruity. And if you go after them, I think it's very undeserved.
Oh my god, you bringing up CD Projekt Red just reminded me that Cyberpunk is going to be delayed, probably.
Oh, the worst developers ever! You release the game when I want you to! You do what I say! You update the game when I want a full-fledged blog about when you will release it, in which what guns...
exactly is...
Will it be at 8 a.m. or 7 a.m.? And I need to know!
Sorry, my cat's in here and he walked on my muted my mic.
We are keeping that in. But, I can't believe your cat just muted.
It was great. It was great.
Oh my god. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, no. Devs don't deserve breaks. They deserve to be working for you constantly.
Exactly.
That's definitely warranted. But that's interesting that you brought up streaming and that you need to think that you are the best. Do you still go to a stream and you're like, I need to think that I'm the best?
If I don't, I do much worse on stream. If I don't think that I'm funny, if I don't come into a stream feeling confident, I have noticed a direct, what's the word? Not comparison, but correlation between if I think that I'm funny and talented and good at cracking jokes versus not. On the day when I'm not good at cracking jokes is always the day when I go in not confident. I think confidence and ego is very important.
That's a good point, because I need to think that I'm like funny. I'm like, yes, I'm funny. I could do this. I'm funny. I'm nailing this. That's what I keep having to remind myself. And that could be confidence, and partly it could be ego. Like, I'm doing such a great job right now. But it's super important. And I think that's something that I really want to keep in mind, that I do need to think that I'm really good at something to be good at something.
Well, maybe that's the difference and the distinction we should make is between ego and confidence. I think sometimes I use those two words interchangeably. I think ego is more toxic, if I'm being honest. Yeah. Confidence is believing you're the best, but ego is putting down others because you think you're the best. Ego is, I guess that's how I would.
Ego's more like everyone has an ego. Everyone believes they're right in a way. So that's what I would think that is. I don't think it's necessarily putting someone down. It's just knowing when to keep your ego in check is.
Oh, that's a good way of putting it. Yeah. Yeah.
So there was this guy, I think it was Overwatch League, and I think he wrote the word big dick and sex in a pro game, and
yeah,
and he got like a fine for it. He got like a $3,000 fine, US dollar fine for it.
Oh my goodness!
He was like, not the place. Such a good lesson to everyone else that maybe just calm down on the verbal abuse. It's not warranted.
Well, that's one thing, Fruity, is people who are toxic on Twitter, people think they're anonymous sometimes on Twitter, or they think people aren't really listening. So if I'm a young pro in Overwatch, right, I would just never write anything in any chat room ever. I would ban myself from writing or speaking to the public on mic if it wasn't to do with the game,
Oh, this would have been like in that chat room that Overwatch has, like the little chat.
Well, there you go. It's like people are listening. And if you were a pro Fortnite player, I would keep my mouth shut.
Oh my
because
God, imagine
that's
if
the
there was
game that
text in a
invites me.
Imagine if there was text in Fortnite.
Oh my God.
There were a lot of people that would be called out in tournaments for their words. Because if they talk the way they talk on Twitter and they talk in game, it's like, oh, that would mean.
Can I ask you a question, Fruity?
Yeah.
If you got involved in drama this year, what do you think it would be? What would it be about? Like, what does Loserfruit get in drama about? Because I know what I would get into drama about. What do you think you would get into drama about?
What would you get into drama about?
Oh, that's easy. Are you ready? And this is going to be serious. I could very much get into drama with the way I speak about people on stream. When I'm on stream, I don't consider a streamer just a streamer. In the sense that I don't believe everything that happens on stream to be real. Now, when I'm streaming, I see it as stand-up comedy more than anything. It's like, and that's how I see you, Fruity. But say I commented on a person that I didn't know, if I commented on their looks, and I said that they look like a pumpkin, or I said that they look like a bloody, I don't know, that their nose was big, or I said that they've got funny ears or something like that, I think I could get into drama for those kinds of things. Because I do make a lot of comments.
That's what Nate Hill got in trouble for recently. I don't know the full story, but
he did.
For hating on the looks of the TikTok star Addison Rae, that one. And he got a lot of hate for that comment. So that would be what you would.
And it's like, I think you have to walk the line very carefully. I think if you're being serious, if you're really commenting on someone's looks, in my opinion, shut up. Like, how dare you? I know that sounds rich coming from the guy who just said he could get into drama for saying something about somebody's looks or about their personality, but I would never attack someone in that way. Does that make sense? Like, I would never be like, oh, blah, 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 you look like this. I think, maybe it comes from me looking so ridiculous with my big mustache. I have big buggy eyes and I've got this big mop on my head, all these curls, and I get called short all the time, that I think sometimes I'm a little desensitized to that kind of stuff, honestly. I think that if I get it all the time, and I laugh it off and I joke about it, and I honestly do. I'm not offended when people call me short. I'm not bothered because, I'm 5'8". I'm not bothered by that. But then I guess sometimes, I love how I made that such a good point. I'm like, I am not bothered by that. Do you know what I mean?
I swear, if you call me ugly, I am not bothered, and I swear.
Yeah, I just hope that people know that I'm not being serious, when I...
Yeah, I mean, I guess, like, you've got to be able to take some jabs because they're meant to be funny, even if they're done in a weird way. But there was this weird thing I saw on TikTok where there was these mums that were commenting on other TikTok girls and like rating them, and it was really weird, like rating them out of 10 about looks. And you got people like 15 and around that age that these mums are commenting on, and they were saying like awful things to them, like, "Oh, that girl looks like a boy," or like something.
Oh, okay. Like, yeah, that's just bullying. That's just bullying.
Yeah, I was like, why?
I think people sense you. I know that sounds a little bit strange, but people sense you. And I think on stream, when I'm cracking jokes about a video game's character's appearance, which is what I more do. I don't usually comment on real people unless it's you, Fruity, or someone who I'm close to.
Yeah.
So I never really breach that. I never really go outside of that box. But, you know, say a video game character, you know, like you comment on anything about them. Like it's the sense. It's the sense. It's are you really joking, you know, and are you saying it and having fun, and then, or are you saying it and being a douchebag, you know? And people can tell, I think. People can tell.
We have a bunch of tweets from our close friends that are kind of shady or kind of weird. And then we have to guess, like, who it is. Someone said, "So frustrating. 3 days and still having trouble getting PayPal to verify me. It's not like I need it for anything important."
Oh my God, I hope that's not me. I hope that's not me. The exclamation mark and the dots look like me.
The dots look like me.
Is that you, Fruity?
But wait, how can you get
So frustrating. 3 days and I'm still having trouble getting PayPal to verify
I didn't
me?
want to be included in these tweets. No.
I'm gonna say Elliot. I'm gonna say Elliot or you.
Sure, Elliot. Yes, me. 2015.
Oh my God.
It's not like I need it for anything important.
Oh, mine's gonna be bad. I'm not looking forward to mine at all. Oh God, mine's gonna be so bad. Let's not do it. Okay, next one. Why is NVIDIA GeForce so useless? Question mark. First, it takes you and makes you answer pick the car captures to just log in, then downloads updates at 60 kbs. I haven't heard that speed since dial-up. That's me.
That's you? That's Elliot.
That's Elliot? Yeah,
really?
It's Elliot or me.
It's too much. It's Elliot.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah.
Elliot! Got him. Yeah, you know why it's Elliot? Elliot hates technical difficulty stuff. I've noticed. Have you? He hates that stuff. On to the next one.
When Macca's replaces your normal Coke with Coke Zero on the sly, who the fuck do you think you're messing with?
That's me or Baz.
Really? No, Baz wouldn't say something like that, right? I feel like it's like Tanner or something.
Tanner, really?
I don't know.
Oh, man, I just don't. Everyone's so bratty and annoying. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
Baz!
Oh, Baz! I knew it. Yes, he loves Macca's and he loves his Coke. Yep. I knew it.
2015 Baz.
Wow.
That PayPal thing, I'd like to say that was 2015 too. Okay, all right. This is past us. We haven't seen what you've said, though.
Dear Premiere Pro, when I move the video into the sequence, I expect the audio to come with it. Just saying, not hate, but please just do it. That sounds like me a lot. The but please just do it. That sounds like a frustrated Cray tweet. That seems like I was really struggling that day. 3, 2, 1, go.
That's me.
Fruity! Oh, Fruity, that is so bratty.
It's not, that though. I said not hate. Just saying not hate.
True.
Please do it.
Yeah, you do get off with the not hate.
Yeah, but I did
not
like,
hate.
it was like a technical issue.
And that's like the technical difficulty stuff gets people riled up, you know?
I love smashing out an entire bunch of work quickly. Is there anything better?
Me, the caps lock on that. Is there anything better is me.
Oh my,
3,
that is so
2,
not you.
1,
oh my God.
Go. It's me! Yes!
You know what? How I read that though is like, look at me, guys. I've done so much work. Look at me.
I do like bragging about how much work I got done in a day. I do like that. And I like hearing tweets like that as well. I love seeing tweets like that. Like, I had such a good day. I'm like, you rock, girl. Kill it. Wow, Adele's Hello music video on YouTube has surpassed 1 billion views faster than Gangnam Style. Hashtag Adele.
Who says that?
If that's going to be me, I'm going to die, but I'm going to say it's Elliot or you. 3, 2, 1, go. It was Marcus.
Why did you post about Adele's music
I thought it would be
beating?
Elliot, just because of like the views. Like Elliot really likes like seeing views and likes like the statistics of things, you know?
Looked in my bank account and I spent $22 at a kebab shop the other night, but I was too drunk to eat the kebab.
Me!
What a waste.
That's got to be me. That's got to be me. It's got to be me. 3, 2, 1, go.
Tanner.
Oh, Tanner. That's embarrassing. I mean, you know, for me, people expect that kind of stuff from me, Tanner. They don't expect it from you, you know. Maybe they do now, though. No matter how much I try, I will always be dead awful at shooters on PC. That's not really a funny or bad tweet at all. That's just a statement.
That's just
Who
sad.
wrote this? Yeah, 3, 2, 1,
just
go.
Me.
Oh, it's you. And it was true as well.
No, next one. Hey, Pornhub, what's up? You want some gaming content in your amateur section?
That's Lannon. That's a Lannon tweet.
That's Lannon.
That's a Lannon tweet. Yep, got him. That's a Lannon tweet.
Oh,
Easy.
yeah, I'm sure all his kid audience.
60% in essay, need 75 average. My life is over. That's me.
me.
That's me. No, that's me.
Oh,
That's me.
You?
That's me. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Told ya. It's me. Oh, man.
Have you seen the next one? It's just 3 booty cheeks with some pixel underwear.
What the hell
Who
is
tweeted
that?
this?
Who tweeted this?
Oh my
What
god. Who do we know that tweeted 3 booties?
It's Marcus!
Marcus!
It's your man!
Oh my god, 2016 Marcus!
Oh my god.
Oh
Were you together in
my
2016?
No, we weren't. No.
Oh, thank God.
We hadn't met then, no.
Oh, thank God.
That's the shadiest tweets that Emma could find on all of us. Apparently we haven't been so shady. I swear Landon and Elliot had more on them of being entitled. They do.
With Lannon and Elliot, you can find a lot. I wonder if, you know who would though, I reckon, and I'm sorry to him right now, but Baz, if he got really into a PC first-person shooter, say there was Valorant was his favorite game, I reckon Baz would be very vocal about changes, I think. I think he would get very much into it.
I'm so embarrassed by those tweets. I just want to die. I want to end this thing. It needs to end. Oh my god. Okay. Let's end it. Thank you guys for listening. A reminder about the giveaway we're doing to give away AirPods and other earphones. There's 3 prizes to be won.
YouTube comments. Go, Fruity.
A gorilla would win in a fight against a grizzly bear.
Wrong. Completely wrong. A grizzly bear would mess up a gorilla. If you actually believe a gorilla would beat a grizzly bear in a fight, I want you to know this. You're an idiot. You are just a moron and you haven't watched enough David Attenborough.
I mean, okay. Maybe we should do an episode of who would beat who. That sounds
I
good.
would love that. I would love that. And because a grizzly would win. 9 out of 10 times.
We'll see on that podcast.
Paratosh Deshpande said, asking the important question, when is Angela White coming on the podcast? The Misfits had Mia Malkova. When are you getting Angela White? This is an official offer to the queen, the woman who turned this boy into a man, Angela White. 1, call me. And 2, will you come on our podcast? Thank you very much, Angie. Can I call you Angie? I hope I can.
I mean, yeah, no, I'd love that. Let's try. Let's
get Angela White on.
Is she American?
No, she's an Australian porn star.
Oh, she's an Australian. Okay, all right.
Yep, and she's very popular, and she is just lovely. The things she can do. Wow. Anyway.
Okay.
Yep,
thank
that's
you for
it.
Watching. That's us. See you in the next one. We've been.
Yep, thanks for coming.
All in.
Be all in at all times. Never don't be all into it, you know? Anyway, see ya.